olelo no keola, I ka olelo no kamake. In the language is life, in the language is death. I'm Puakea Nogelmeyer. I've been a professor of Hawaiian language at the university for 35 years. And through our work with the Hawaiian Language Newspaper Archive, we're bringing new light to Hawaii's past by digitizing, translating, and training people to access over a century's worth of untapped historical knowledge. Hawaiians have never really had easy access to the insight of their own people of the past. Our Hawaiian society was an oral society for a millennia, and then with the coming of Westerners, there was a real interest in written language. Within a generation, you have almost universal literacy in Hawaiian. Compare that to America, which probably had 50% literacy at the time. They are running a very progressive little kingdom that is respected around the world. 1834, the first newspaper happens. By the 1860s, there's 3, 4, and 5 papers at a time. And by the 1870s, there's 10 newspapers in a population that's only about 70,000 people. That's a huge output. By 1860, the kingdom recognizes that change is happening so fast, population is declining so fast, and there's letters in the papers saying, those of you who are knowledgeable in almost any field, please write it down and put it here, it'll be safe. Generations from now, we will need this. And it was so true. So they're able to start writing down what had kept a society alive and well on such a limited resource base as an island over centuries. This is how farming works. This is how fishing works. For Hawaiians as a whole, this is a history that simply wasn't available for the last 4 generations. From the 1970s, we have what's called a Hawaiian Renaissance. The renewal of interest in cultural practices is what built the language community that opened up this historical cache of newspapers. 125,000 pages of newspapers had been published. We know only about 75,000 of those pages have been found in local archives, but all of the pages in hand have been digitized and are accessible. 40 years, we get 25,000 people speak Hawaiian, and the other million don't. We still have to make this material accessible to an audience that hasn't yet gotten there. This body of knowledge is not just for Hawaiians. This is a global resource. So the idea of sustainability is documented there. Being able to see that is critical for us today. We don't have to make things up. We actually have an experience base to look at.